everybody. So thank you for bearing with me. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Just give me 1 second. And for those who have just jumped in, you probably see other people sharing the links to their websites. We do pick a couple of websites to actually audit throughout these sessions. So if you want to be one of those, leave a link and we'll pick 1 or 2 of them throughout today's session. Typically, the way we do it also is the more active everyone is, the more you guys want out of us, the kind of longer that we go. So we're able to hang around a little bit if everybody's really, really keen. Share. Okay, should be this one. All right, give me some thumbs up or just say yes if you can see the screen that I'm sharing, everybody. Can we see the 40K to 400K formula? Thumbs. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you, everybody. I might just wait 1 minute to see if Paul comes back in the next minute. If not, then I'll just kick things off and he can jump in when he's ready. Make sure you got a glass of water, whatever you need. Make sure you stay safe if you're on the road as well. Don't mind if you're listening along, but do not want to cause any danger. That is for sure. Now, Beck jumping in. Cool, cool, cool. Any issues, Julian, with people trying to get in?
No, letting them in.
Oh, sorry, Chris. Chris, there you are. Sorry, mate. Didn't even say hi to you.
No,
Hello.
all good. Letting them in.
Yeah, perfect. Sorry, it's only 3 p.m. We got
So
Spirit.
iPhone with the glass of wine. We can call you by a proper name if you don't want to be iPhone. We can rename you there if you drop it in the chat or just unmute quickly.
I think there was an Oppo as well. Uh, Message from Sue. It's 3 p.m. in Perth. Yeah, just about to hop on a helicopter in the Bungle Bungles. Okay, I think Sue might need a replay. She's getting on a helicopter. That is interesting. Um, all right, beautiful. I think I want to kick things off without Paul, but I don't want to get to the point where he needs to talk about himself.
Now we can cover him. I'll pretend to be Paul when you get to that. I'll put my black
Really weird
black
to
black
talk
hat on
about
and
him, and then he's just
see.
like there. Sorry, everybody. Look, we'll try to go live as soon as possible. Just bear with us for a little bit longer before we officially kick things off.
If you notice that I'm muting, that you weren't muted, I'm just muting everyone just because sometimes the noise comes through and it's distracting to those presenting. But we'll happy to let you unmute once you are. We chat to you later.
Yeah, typically how these work, actually got a couple here on mute. Typically how these things work, guys, is like we'll ask questions throughout the session and we'll encourage you to use the chat function as much as possible. And then if we get people up to ask questions, we'll have you unmute yourself when we do bring you up, just to make sure we keep the earwaves clear, make sure everyone can hear what they need to hear. But by all means, chat away, ask as many questions as you like, make sure that everything makes sense to you. We don't want to go too fast for anyone who's maybe more of a beginner or, sometimes we can be pretty fast when we go through these things. What could Paul possibly be doing 5:10 p.m. on a Wednesday afternoon? How are we going with pipe? Oh, we almost got 40 in here. If you have any friends who are also in e-commerce or looking to start their journey in e-commerce as well, make sure you send a link to for them to this. Just send them the same link you've got. The more the merrier here today. All right, there he is. All right, the Capitan is back, and I think we'll go live in that case. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being so patient with us. This is the 40K to 400K Shopify Formula Workshop. A lot of new faces today, which is really, really great. Now, I'm going to do a bit of an intro to just set the tone for today, what we're going to be going through. So I know you've all been so patient so far. I'm going to try and go through pretty quick on this just to get you to the good stuff. So that just means that if you don't understand anything, you want me to repeat it, by all means, don't hesitate to use the chat below. But let's jump into it. There are a couple things to go through first, and that is, again, this will go for about 60, sometimes to 75 minutes. Try put that time away if possible. Remove as many distractions as you can. A lot of webcams, which is really, really nice. It's always lovely to see people's faces as we do these. If you haven't and you're happy to do it, please turn on your webcam now. And lastly, a lot of you already have been sharing your website links in the chat, so it seems like you do know what's going on, which is great. But yeah, use that chat function as I was just saying right below. We're going to be asking a lot of questions. It's very interactive, these sessions. So just to make sure we're all really clear with that, could you please just drop me a yes in the chat now if that makes sense and you're all good for me to just kick on from here? Cool. We got yeses from Kylie, Colleen, Nathan, Beck. Perfect. Yes, Mark, Alyssa. Okay. Yes, we are all on board. Lovely, lovely. Thank you very much, everybody. There's a few goals. Oh, still got more yeses coming through. Awesome. I love the energy. All right. There's a couple goals I really want everyone to kind of walk away from today's session achieving. The first one, and this is something that we really, really focus on when it comes to helping Aussie-based brands, and that is on how to turn browsers into buyers. And what I mean by that is simply how to make sure that when people land on your website for your business, that they actually convert and turn into a sale. And this is all about conversion rate and conversion rate optimization. And conversion rate is as simple as, say, 100 people come to your website and one buys from you. That's a 1% conversion rate. So naturally, we try to get that conversion rate as high as possible so we get the most bang for your buck, the most amount of sales so you can build a business that's actually profitable. The second goal is going to be seeing what's not working in your business right now. A lot of people here are already running a business and maybe they're running ads and maybe they're working with people outside the business and it's not quite working, you're not quite profitable, you're not sure why. We're going to help diagnose why that might be the case, and then we're going to fill in the gaps and show you what you need to be doing to start seeing consistent growth in your business. And then lastly, today is all going to be about, well, ideally, I want you to leave with a plan, understanding what it is that you need to focus on over the next 90 days to see growth in your business. And there is typically a couple questions I get when people, well, I talk to someone about these sessions, and really it comes down to the fact that they just want to know it's going to be worth their time. And when they're asking this, there's usually a couple things specifically they're referring to. The first thing is maybe I'm thinking of selling something pretty interesting, or I have a particular product in mind. I want to know it's what we go through today is going to work for my niche, the industry that I'm in. And just to let you know, everything that we do here is all e-commerce, and we've worked with just about every product you could think of in just about every industry there is. And if it is e-commerce, if you are selling products online, then what we do today will be relevant to you. Secondly, and this is also very important, is is it going to work for me at my size, at my time in my journey in e-commerce? And what I mean by that is there's some people who come to us who watch these who are already doing 50 to 100K a month and they're trying to scale to multiple six figures. And then there's also a lot of people who come to this that haven't even got a product yet, or maybe they just started making a couple sales and they just want to figure out how to make this something more serious. Just want to let you guys understand it doesn't matter where you are in that process. What we do when we work with brands that are scaling is more optimizations, but the thing is, we teach those as fundamentals to people who are just starting. So it doesn't matter where you are on the journey. As long as you're doing e-commerce, this is going to be relevant to you. And lastly, very important one, is what we go through today going to be relevant now? And long story short, everything that we teach is consistently tested with the brands that we work with every single day in the other businesses that we run, which we'll talk to you about in a moment. But yeah, look, if we're teaching you something, it's because we prove this day in, day out that it works. And that's why we are making this presentation and teaching you those things. Now, there are a couple people who typically we get the best results with when we do help them out and we've given this kind of information. And usually it comes down to someone who is passionate generally. And this could be, derived from, they're passionate about just running a business. They've always wanted to kind of live life in their own terms. Maybe you've been an employee your entire life and you've always wanted to have a go at having your own business and building something for yourself. Or maybe you're somebody who is really passionate about the product that you have and you just want to get it out there more and you need to know how to do that. Or potentially you're somebody who is just trying to build something more for their life that they can leave a bit of a legacy. Maybe it's for loved ones or whatever it may be, that you can build something that you're very proud of. And it doesn't matter where you are on that spectrum, as long as you do know that this is something that you want to do, then definitely you're the type of person that we can help. Another type of person that we tend to run into pretty often in this space is someone who feels very overwhelmed. Right, you get into e-commerce and you suddenly realize that there's no one around you in your local community doing this. And a lot of the time, what I hear is you don't know what you don't know, and it's very, very common. And you're not really sure what your next step is, and then it feels like you're managing 1,000 different things. You don't know what to focus on, and it just feels chaotic. What we really like doing is to help people overcome that overwhelm by getting really clear on what are the next steps I need to do in my business. And lastly, if you're someone who, let's be honest, we're starting business because we want to make more money, we want more income, we want more profit in our lives. So what we do is we're very big on making sure you're building businesses that aren't just paying the ATO, aren't just paying wages, ad costs, etc. You're actually making money that at the end of the month you take home into your pocket. It's profitable, and this is how we help build sustainable businesses by making sure that they are profitable along the way. So if you're any of these, then definitely the next 60 minutes with us is going to be very, very valuable for you. And now I'm going to introduce Paul, who you would have seen in our ads when you signed up originally. Paul runs our businesses. He's the CEO and founder of everything that we do. So, Paul, if you want to introduce yourself a little bit and just give everybody a bit of a taste of what they got for the next 60 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Chris. So short version, guys, is I, as a 15-year-old kid, got very excited about computers, and I thought, what's the best way to get computer parts cost effectively? So I thought, I'm going to go start a computer business. So at the ripe old age of 16 or 17, I started my first company called Warcom. We sold technology products. Um, I grew that business to the point where I sold it in 2014 to a company on the ASX. So I went through that monster journey of learning how to sell stuff, source stuff, buy stuff, deal with customers, everything you can imagine. So sold that in 2014 after selling about $40 million of products. I then launched Insightful, which was our agency. So Insightful at the time was the development company that did all the dev work for my Warcom business. So back then, Shopify didn't exist, eCommerce didn't exist, WooCommerce didn't, none of them existed. So I spent probably $3 or $4 million building my own version of Shopify. And when I sold the business, I sold all the tech and away it went. So come probably 4 years ago or so, I repurposed Insightful, that brand, and Insightful now builds about 100 plus Shopify sites a year. But then with my wife, now amazing dev team. About 2 years ago, Chris McLean, who was on this call with the guy with the greatest mustache you've ever seen, we're sitting down, we're chatting. We're like, we have so many people that come to me and they need support to grow their amazing new Shopify site that we've built. And we can't help all of them because I can't deal with, that many people one-to-one. So we launched the eCommerce Circle community. So eCommerce Circle community now has 10 coaches, nearly 400 people in the community, tons of success stories where we've taken people from like brand newbies to 600-700 grand a month in revenue. And during that journey, we spend a lot of time helping people, making sure they sell the right product as per this slide, helping people build teams. And it doesn't need to be a big team. Some of these brands that are doing 600 grand a month have like 2 VAs, the owner, that's it. We always focused on growing businesses that are profitable, right? There's heaps of other gurus in the space and coaching communities and so forth that teach you the latest fad that dies after 3 months and you're drop shipping junk out of China. That's not what I'm about at all. I'm all about building a brand that is safe, sustainable, profitable, fun, and that most importantly, you get to spend time with your family and so forth. So I'm a dad. I've got a 4-year-old and a 5-year-old. Feels like they're going on 25-year-old, some of the stuff they come out with. But I think it's really important to build a business that you're not chained to your desk. You want to be able to spend time with your kids, your grandkids, your cats, or whatever you're into. So that's what we're about here. So that's how we work with brands in Ecom Circle and Insightful. And that's why we put on this workshop every week, basically to show you guys all the shortcuts that are also the right things to do on your journey so that you don't waste years of time trying to figure it out on your own like I did. So thanks again for jumping on, and I'll throw back to Chris.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks, Paul. And a lot of this is just to say that everything that, we've learned over our time doing this, really, this is what's created the things that we teach. And these every day are backed up by the work that we do with other Aussie brands. And I want to show you some of these brands that we're working with just to give you a bit of an idea of the things that we do. And I'll just give you an example here. This is Liz from Industrial Shed. So Liz came to us. She was already running a business that was making some sales. She sells tools. Their competitors are Bunnings, for example. Now, for Liz, basically what we did was we really helped her to nail a high converting website. Again, turn those browsers into buyers and really get that the digital strategy just locked in. So we're able to slowly build the business up where over the last 18 months, she's done 2.6 million sales. I think she's doing about 250K a month now. And this is just by really, really knocking down the fundamentals that we'll talk to you about in today's session. Then there's other examples like Paul and Delane who run Nature's Pantry. Now, these two were doing the market hustle. They were selling protein and collagen supplements at markets, doing as many as they could to build this business. And they knew they were doing awesome. They had a great product. This is what they knew. And this because they were doing so well at markets. And they just thought, look, we can't scale this way. We need to get it online to get into more hands. And that's where we got in touch with them. And again, nailed that website, nailed that conversion element, really helped them get clear on who their brand was. And then from there, just figured out how to get traffic profitably to their website. Up until the point where it's been about 2 years we've been with them. They're now doing 120K plus months. They're really happy. They're stoked with how everything's going. And for them, it's just maintenance at this point. They're really happy with the life that they've been able to build. And then we have other examples. So they've done 2.2 mil in the last, I think, 12 months as well. So they're doing quite awesome. And then we have other examples. For example, look, there's people like Karen who, if you think, I'm not techie, I'm not very good with computers, I can't do this. I want to tell you about Karen quickly. So she's worked with us for a bit over a year and a half, maybe. Now she was selling her teacups on Etsy. She makes these beautiful little handmade teacups, and she's doing about 3 to 4 grand a month. And she said, again, she knows she has to be on her own website. She knows she has to start getting traffic, and she just needed help to do it. We helped her to really nail that website, get the traffic kind of sorted. And this is now means that recently she's done her first 20K month, which is really awesome. And she's built her own new website, and she's kind of chugging along and trying to grow that business even further from there. And on the other side, if you're time poor, we have people like Jade who she came to us with no product even. She just knew she wanted to do e-commerce. And she has a full-time job. She's a physiotherapist, mum of two. Basically, this is to say she had about 1 hour every day at night time she could commit to this. And just by plodding along, she came to one of these workshops actually initially a bit over 12 months ago. And just by plodding along, following everything that we told her and implementing it day in, day out, we caught up a couple of weeks ago. She now has a business doing 40K per month. And she's pretty happy to just keep growing that while she maintains her full-time job. And then we have even examples like Leah from Sunza, who she came to us, she had this lovely product, and she said, look, I love the product. You can go, I think you should be seeing some links to their websites in the chat below, so feel free to check them out just to see that they're actually real, these businesses. And she knew it was a good product because she loved it herself, and she said, I just need help on how to get it out there. And we did the exact same thing. In the last 4 months, we really nailed the website side of things and the traffic from there. She's now doing 10K months. She's super excited. She knows it's kind of like the sky's the limit from here. So all of this is just to say, it doesn't matter where you are or what you feel like your limitations are. We can definitely help you in achieving your goals. We can get you there faster and way more safer. And to be completely frank, there is a unhidden agenda on today's call. I'm sure you'll understand. Like we said, we run these businesses 24/7. We help brands build their ecom businesses day in, day out. And we want as many of you to be our next case studies that we show in these workshops. So at the end of this session, if you found it helpful, if you thought it was very valuable, we're going to I'm going to ask now for your permission, if it is okay with you that at the end of this session that we share how you can continue to get our support moving forward. If that is okay with you, if you're happy for us to explain it at the end of this call, please leave a yes just in that chat one more time, and that way I know that we're all good. And if it's a no, then no problem at all. Look, you don't have to hang around to the end. You can absolutely leave whatever you want. So yes from Beck, yes from Nathan, Lucy, Stacy, Colleen, awesome, lovely, good, good, good. That's good to hear, everybody. Honestly, at the end of this, we've got something that we feel has actually been a big case for why those other brands were able to succeed. And we put something together that's basically going to give you the same access to everything they had to see if you can replicate those results. And we'll go through it at the end of this session. Something I want to clarify though, everybody, and this is going to help us today to make sure when we give you feedback that is going to be specific to the audience. So I'd love to know, just to see roughly where the entire audience is at, where are you in your e-commerce journey right now? And don't feel nervous if you're a startup and there might be some bigger brands in here. That's completely fine. We get a big mix of everybody. But let me know, are you in that startup phase, that 0 to 10K per month? Are you in that setup phase, that 10 to 25K per month? Grow up, which is 25 to 50K? Or scale up, which is honestly anything above 50K a month? Let me know which one you're at. That way I can kind of see the audience, where we're at roughly, and make sure that we kind of really nail our feedback towards that. So we got John from Startup, Peter, Startup, yep, Startup, little startups, yes. We got 2, which is nice, Startup, awesome. Yeah, so a lot of startups today. Beck is a 2. All right, cool. That's pretty typical, so that sounds good for us. Lovely. Thank you for sharing, everybody. Now, when it comes down to how we get these results with brands, people tend to call us lucky sometimes when we present you with a case study, or sometimes people joke and say it's magic. But to be frank, to be able to do this with multiple businesses over multiple niches, day in, day out, you're only able to achieve this with a system. You can't rely on luck. Some brands will win by luck, but you cannot rely on it. You need a system that is proven that you can follow, that's going to work for your business. And I'm going to go through quickly what that system is that we use with other brands. And then we're going to actually pick a couple brands, and Paul's going to audit them and implement that system live on today's call. So this is the more orders model. If you've been in our workshops before, we've had a little bit of a play with it. So this is brand spanking new. We've kind of put it together in a new way. And you'll see there are 4 steps to this. And the order is super important, because it doesn't matter if you're a big brand who's already doing 50K a month and you want to get to 6-figure months, or you're somebody who's just starting from scratch. It is so important that you nail each of these fundamentals and do them in the right order. Now, I'm going to go through each of these and quickly explain what they are before we head into the good stuff. So when it comes to stock, we are talking all about your product, and there's a lot that goes into product. There's, of course, are we selling something quality? Is it something that's just going to end up in the bin in 2 weeks? Is it competitive in the market? Is there good profit margins in it? Can you get your hands on enough of it to maintain cash flow and also make sure you can service your sales? All of these things are so important to really nail before you go run ads and build even a website, to start building a business. You want to make sure that your product is good quality, and also that it's something that you can wake up every single day and feel excited to build a business around. If you just pick a random product and say, I think this could be profitable, you're going to get outdone by people who are more passionate about you, who are going to be way more nailing in on the optimizations. And that's why we really push towards, pick something that you can be passionate about. Maybe you got experience in, that is high quality, that you're happy to build a brand around, honestly. Then we get to the story part. And this story part is maybe one of the most overlooked things when it comes to e-commerce. We've seen brands who their product is so good it's carried them to 6 figures and above every month, but they just completely miss out on this fundamental. And the story is all about who you are, what you do, and why people should engage and spend their hard-earned money with you, as opposed to all your other competitors in the space. And this is super, super important when it comes to building any small Aussie brand, because it doesn't really matter what niche you're in. For example, Industrial Shed, which we spoke about earlier, they sell tools. They're already doing 40K per month, but that is nothing compared to Bunnings. And you've got to understand there are big players in the industry who can undercut what you do, who can try and ape your products. And the way to overcome that is by building that branding and that brand messaging so tightly that your audience will never buy from anyone except you. And we really bring this down into actual phrases. This is what we call brand messaging. The phrases, the wording that goes everywhere on your website, on your social media, in your ads. Even if you're in a brick and mortar business, it goes there so everyone knows who you are and it's congruent. Super, super important. The third bit is your store. This is where everything comes together and creates that conversion rate that I mentioned earlier. And again, this is one of the numbers that your business will live and die by. If you have a website that has a very low conversion rate and you start running ads to it, what you're going to do is you're going to end up being very unprofitable, and you're not going to be able to reinvest money into the next month to run ads. And this is what kills cash flow. So what makes a website convert well? We will dive deeper into that in the next part. But basically, it comes down to functionality, professionalism. How well you build trust in that website is a big, big deal. And we're going to talk all about that today. And lastly, now you got your product, you got the brand message, you got your website. Now we need traffic. We have to figure out month by month what we're going to focus on to start building more traffic towards that business. And this is how we kind of figure out, look, now we focus on the website this month. We focus on the product first. Then we did the website. Now we're getting the ads. We might start with meta ads and do a bit in meta ads. And then the next month we might increase that budget. And then down the track, we might add Google. The important bit is really getting down pat exactly what that plan is over the next 90, 180, 270, and 360 days. That way you can kind of keep yourself accountable and make sure that your head's always floating above water as you grow. So we're going to dive into all this for a couple brands today. So I'll kind of bring it over back to you, Paul. Were there any brands that kind of piqued your interest that you'd like to bring up, and we'll kind of we'll bring up someone to introduce themselves, and we'll go from there.
Potentially Salt and Rue. I think we're having a look at that one. So if that person
beautiful.
is here, feel free to come on.
Stace, are you able to chat with us? Are you there?
Hello, yes, I can talk. I'm home and
Oh, there you are.
great. Hello.
How are you? How are you?
Hey, Stacey, how are you?
I'm
Out
good
of the
now. I'm not at
car and
work.
into the office. There you go. So one thing we like to do when we do this is I say make a count, because obviously this video is going to go on YouTube. It's going to go everywhere. If so, like, give us your best shot here so that people see the video and you wake up tomorrow with tons of orders. So
Very excited. Thank you for picking us.
All good, all good. Give us a little bit of an intro on the business. How
yeah.
long you've been running it? What kind of products you sell? What the goal is for the future as well.
So I'm a nurse. I've just come home from work. I work in the emergency. I'm done. I've done 20 years. I want out. We started this business for that exact reason. We've got a 5-year-old and a 9-year-old. We're in Perth. We don't have a lot of space, and the kids are climbing on us. The dogs, beanbags, it's just crap all over our house. So we decided we wanted something better in the house that the kids can sit on, other than us on the couch. So we made a indoor-outdoor kids convertible lounge that's waterproof and can be wiped down. So they're our USPs. The ones you buy in Kmart are rubbish, and you've got to buy like 4 or 5 through the age of the kid growing up. My little girl's 5 and my stepson's 9, and they can both fit on it and it will grow with them. So it's quality product that we use and we've developed. I've got a supplier in China. I've done the templates and designed it all myself, so there's nothing else out like it.
Hmm.
And that's where we're trying to get from. This is the website. I built it. We were with another ecom business that basically asked us to design the site and on what we think. I'm a nurse. I'm not a tech person. I don't understand the psychology behind where buttons and colors and all that. So
Hmm.
I've got this far, and now I'm stuck.
Yeah.
You've done a pretty good job, honestly. Like, looking at, you've got a lot of the right stuff, and like logo's cool, product's cool. And I agree. I've had like 3, not your product, obviously, but like when I had little boys, I went through like 4 of them because they
Yeah,
eat on them and they wee on them, and then they just like,
yeah.
the dog chews it. And I'm like, okay. So it sounds good
It,
if there's an indestructible dog proof, children proof, whatever else proof version. So
that's it.
um
That's the whole point. We just wanted something that's going to be quality rather than just cheap.
it looks cool though. It looks like good quality. It's thick, like it's made properly. It's not like you can just, you sit on it and the kids are still sink into the
Yeah,
floor
that's
because it's
it.
so thin. So yeah,
I
cool.
mean,
All right.
you get to the
So
point where you question, you're like, is the product good? What, like, I've just done a giveaway. I've been pushing my socials. I have limited time, like your other lady you mentioned, the physio, and I just need to know what focus to put where. And I think the website's an issue because our socials, we just did a giveaway, got 16,000 views on the video. The girl that helped us was incredible. And yeah, everyone's like, this product's great. And I'm like, why are you converting?
means your offer was wrong. So we'll get into that, right? So
Perfect.
getting exposure is one thing, getting people to buy stuff is another thing. So you actually said a few things when you were talking as well around like what I call trust statements. And we're going to go back through, we're going to like put them in order properly, because what happens when someone goes to your website? Largely, you're dealing with this, and I mean, obviously, this is desktop because we wouldn't be able to sit here and look at my mobile phone because it would be a bit small. But for the purpose of this exercise, we're doing it on desktop. So this thing up here is called an announcement bar. There should be a thing here called a H1. H1 is heading 1. There should be a thing here called a heading 2. There should be boxes down here, right? Called, and I'm just going to draw all over my screen. Hopefully this works. But these are trust statements. So, oh, hang on. I got to the wrong. Let me go back a second. All right. Program is continued. So go down there, down here. Because what we're trying to do is, soon as someone lands on your website, we're trying to get them to comply with you, right? So we want all of the people that reading everything on your site in their brain, they go, yes, 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 yes. It's a bit like what Chris just did during the start of the workshop. Hey guys, here's what we're going to do. Here's how we're going to do it. You guys are okay with that? Do you agree? Does this all sound good? Da, 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 da. And you guys are like, yeah, sounds good. Like, I'm liking what I'm hearing so far. So your website needs to do the exact same thing. They read your announcement bar, and there should be messages in your announcement bar, and a H1 and a H2 and all of these things. And the more yeses you get, as soon as someone lands on your site, the more likely they are to scroll down and the more likely they are to buy something. So what we're going to do for you is like literally just rebuild all of this live, and then I'll go back to you and you can put it on there and then see where we get to with this. But one thing that I'm going to do, you'll see me referring a lot to this particular tool throughout this session. So I've been working on this for about a year and a half. So hands up if you use ChatGPT at the moment, or you use Claude, or you use all the other AI slop on the internet, right? So now everyone's like, me, all day, every day, it's new, my new best friend. They're good, right? However, they don't give you very considered responses when they give you an answer to an e-commerce problem. So if you go and ask it something like, hey, rewrite my header on my website, it spits out an answer for you in about 3 seconds. It doesn't really spit out the answer like a world-class copywriter that's been doing this for like 20 years would give you that answer. It's the same when I go, what trust statements should I do, right? It doesn't use persuasion, doesn't use like science and all the other stuff that goes into making a really good trust statement. So I've been working on this thing, and inside of this, there are like 200 plus very specific GPTs that exist to help solve all the problems we're going to help you guys solve over the next 12 months. So for example, you jump in here, and I'll just duplicate this for a second, but when you guys all buy this, and don't buy this yet, we're going to show you how to buy it later. But you'll come in here and you go, I've got an e-commerce site, but I don't know what to sell. I go, cool, go pick the thing that says pick a winning product. And you'll go through it, and it'll help you pick a winning product, and it'll ask you lots of questions as if I was you were sitting at my house at my kitchen table. Then you'll go to the next question. You go, now that I figured out that I want to sell bean bags or candles or whatever, now where would I source the product from overseas? And you go, cool, now go to the product sourcing GPT, and it'll train you how to do that. Then it'll go, now how do I negotiate with the Chinese person in China, because I'm an Aussie person in Australia and I know I'm going to get rorted when I try to go negotiate with the people in China. It'll walk you through the whole process, right through to, you go, I've got the product now. Now I want to run ads. So I go, here's how you write your ads. Now I need to send emails. Here's how you write your emails. Now I want to build a team. Here's how you hire a virtual assistant. So again, I won't go through all of them. At the moment, there's 200 plus very specific things that I will teach you how to do. And they're all very applicable, right? From when you're a brand newbie all the way up to an 8-figure brand. All right. So an 8-figure brand will come through here and go, hey, my conversion rate is 3.4%. If I get it to 3.7, like that 8-figure brand's just added a couple more $1 million to their business a year, right? But for you guys that are like, my conversion rate's 1%, how do I get it to 3? Game changer. So what we're going to do here is, and I've already done this a bit, I'm going to go through, I'm going to go here, and I'm going to type in headline generator. So what headline generator will do is it will help me rewrite the headlines on this particular site. So now I've come through here, and I cheated a bit, right? Because as I said, it takes a little bit of time to give you the answer, like call it 20 seconds or something. I didn't want you all sitting there for 20 seconds whilst my internet did its thing. So I went and I'm like, here's the website that I'm working on, Salt and Rue. I go, I need you to write me a new H1 and a new trust statements and a new H2, and let's work on this together. So it's come back and it's like, what's, recommended angle. Let's make it fun. Let's make it a bit messy. Let's make it talk about comfort indoors, et cetera, et cetera. And then I'm like, why? And again, this is exactly how I would talk to you. So you go, oh, it's a fun, playful, coastal feel, but the hero needs to, we need to make more obvious who the hero is. We've got a few assumptions around what's going on there, and so forth. So again, this did this really, really quickly. And I want to show you another thing before I show you the results, just so you understand how important this is. So the old way, and when Chris McLean and I used to do this and still do this with big brands, and it takes us a good 6 to 7 hours to do this properly, we go through this sheet. So this sheet that you're going to see here largely is what powers that GPT now. Like, it's not going to be as good as if we did it with you one-to-one, but it's still very powerful. So when we work out someone's H1, we go, well, why are you in business for? Like, what are you passionate about? What's your definition of success? Rah, rah, rah. What personal values do you have as a person? Like, most people start a business because they're trying to solve a problem that exists for themselves, right? Then we go, okay, what sort of brand values does this brand have? The reason we start going through all of this stuff and asking all the questions we do is because we want to go, well, we want to build a personality for our brand. And then we want to build characteristics of how our brand sounds. And then we want to build a persona. And the reason we do this is because at some point, we're trying to get to the point over here where we go, all right, we're going to say all these fancy H1s and H2 and trust statements because our ideal client is Jenny Smith. She's 40. She makes 100K a year. She's a mum or she's a single mum. She's a nurse. She buys all this stuff online and she needs to hear these very specific statements and she needs to hear and she needs to go on this journey with our brand from a story perspective. And the better we do that, the more likely she is to buy stuff, right? So the ultimate goal when you do this piece with us, and again, we give you access to all of this when you join our coaching community. So at the end of this, we're going to talk about the command center and the coaching community. And we're going to go, cool, like you get access to a course to do this, you get access to a command center, you do this. And you all get to the end of it and you go, cool, now I know what my new H1 is, my new H2, my trust statements, my unique selling proposition, and I know what to say in my ad. So if that makes sense, chuck your hand up and I'm going to go through and actually going to start working on this for Stacey, wasn't it? So what do we have at the moment? We've got the indoor-outdoor convertible kids chair. I don't read that and go, yes, right? I read that as just the label of a product. But if I come over here and I go, the kids' couch made for, and I'll make this big. I know some of you are sitting on your phone and you probably need your telescopes out to be able to see it's probably that small. So this is the new one, right? So the kids' couch made for snacky, sandy sofa days. I read that as a dad and I go, yeah, my kids want to eat snacks on it. It's probably going to get dirty because they're probably being playing in the sandpit and they can hang out and have sofa days. I'm like, great. And then the H2, I go, meet Reef, the premium indoor-outdoor kids lounge that goes from lounge room to backyard to beach day, then wipes clean when the chaos follows. All right. So I don't know about the rest of you on the call, but for the parents on the call, like I would imagine you probably got like 5 yeses in amongst that statement already, right? So already you're going, yep. So we're on the right path here. Is this making sense so far? I can't see everyone's face. I can see a few. Is this making sense more so to you, Stacey? You've got some of this stuff already, right? So it's like reorganizing it all.
It's exactly what you're saying. It's being more personable and emotive rather than like facts.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
it is this.
like example, we work with an amazing kids toy brand, right? Toy store, and they came to us brand. They'd purchased the business. Chris came up with the H1 for them, and it's like the toy store where every toy tells a tale. And you read that, and you're like, that sounds like fun, exciting adventure, da da da. And this brand just goes from strength to strength. So, we'll come down and we'll have a look. Like here's some other one, tiny lounges. Big adventure energy. I'm like, nah, I don't love that one. There's a reason it gives you multiple options, right? So kids furniture, you don't have to hide. Some people might read that and they go, actually, that's more what I'm about. Some people will be, I want my house to look like a show home. Other people with kids go, it's never going to look like a show home, right? So you go, Reef is the good looking, white, clean kids lounge chair made for real Aussie family life, from styled playrooms to grass in the yard afternoons, So again, just repeating, when we do this properly for brands, it can take a very, very, very long time. But I reckon already, like I'm vibing these ones. I think they're good, right? So I would come along and go, there's your new H1, there's your new H2. Now what I would do down here, and I'll get you to help me out with this, is, and this one, it actually agreed with me. So how I train this to work, it gives you 3 options, right? And this is how all creative processes should actually work. You go, I have one problem, right? Work with very smart people to give you 3 options. Then those 3 very smart people come along and go, we think this one's the best. What do you think, Stacey? And you go, I agree.
Yeah.
Rather than you get like, I got 400 ideas, let's all decide, and you get nowhere, right? So we'll come down here. So these are the things that I'm talking about, like for trust statements perspective, and I'll show you what they look like maybe on like another client's website. So here's a cool brand we work with. Actually, I'll pick a different one. So this site just went live recently for us. So 1,000 plus reviews, perfect fit guarantee, or you can send it back, reliable shipping, Australia owned. That's one brand. You look at this site and you go, made in-house in Tasmania. People go, oh, cool, Aussie made product. Built for your riding, it's not for average riders. Real support before and after you buy it. So all these little trust statements that you make, people go, oh yeah, I need all of that. So for your brand, we come back, God, I'm losing all my tabs here. So This one, probably the most important thing. White plain fabric for real life spills. Mum goes, that sounds good. I don't need to chuck it up, chuck it after 5 minutes. You know, designed for ages 1 to 8. That's good. I'm going to get some life out of it. Supports up to 45 kilograms. We probably won't use that one because it's probably a bit light on at the moment for reviews, but Australian family owned and shipped from Perth. That's really important. You don't, like most people go, oh, is this shipping from Temu or China or wherever, right? Indoor, outdoor, ready for lounge, da 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 da. They probably don't need this one, but you guys, once you get access to this tool, you can come in here anyway, and you can actually go, these are good. Rewrite these so they are a bit funnier and quirkier or something, right? Because it's got
also a good idea, Paul, is like if you just go, like for example, you would be selling this to parents, like you could take these as options and just go get real feedback and see what like attracts people more. And then you
Yeah,
can kind of
exactly. Which ones do they actually say yes to? Like get all your customers and go, here's 10 new trust statements. Tell me which ones jump out at you first. And if all of the ones where all the moms go, yep, we go, great, we'll use them.
We were completely on the wrong track because I was trying to do what I've been told in the past, which is completely wrong from what you're saying now. Is it's whatever's on my site, I can't even think right now, but they're all like, it's not parent driven, mum driven. If you go down a tiny bit more, like Free Australia, they're not, that's what I put there as the trust statements, but that's not, you've just
These are
nailed it.
expected. These are 2026. These are expected things.
Okay.
Everyone goes, it should be a secure website and it should be fast shipping. So these are like non-implied things that you have to do anyway, right? So that's easy though. We can change all that and come up into here. So what do we got here? Fund trust statement. So these are quite long, right? So, but they're a good starting point. The kids learn through crumbs, cuddles, chaos, and everything in between. There's going to be no parent alive that doesn't go, I love cuddles and chaos and everything in between, right? Except whatever. Anyway, good looking kids furniture that can survive the snack era. You're like, oh God, I absolutely need that. Premium kids chair for tiny humans who take relaxing seriously. Do you know what I mean? Hands up for everyone who's watching this. Do you agree with you? Read those. Do they sound pretty good to you versus like, hey, you like free shipping or free returns or like we have 3 reviews or all the other stuff, right? So the reason I spend so much time with a brand like Stacey is because she just got all this exposure from the influencer or whoever it was, and then sent all the traffic to the website. And your influencer and you, when you started talking to me at the start, you said a lot of this stuff, right? But it's not on your site. So you go, cool, now we fixed it. We're going to put it on here. We're also going to put it in your meta ads. So when you go and run meta ads for your brand, we'll do a bit of work on this too, where you go, cool, I say all these things in my ad. So mum's sitting on her phone and she's scrolling and she sees Stacey's brand pop up and she's just like, that looks cool. And I trust it and I trust it and I trust it and I trust it. And they go there and they read all that and they go, yep. And they go, what's the price? Who cares what the price is? I'll just buy it now.
Yeah.
Right. So I'll leave that there for now because I can spend days perfecting this for a brand and really die. And this is what we do, right? For a 7 or an 8 figure brand, again, like those brands I can charge them anywhere from like $5,000 to $10,000 to dial this in, because if it makes like conversion rate go from 3% to 4% to 5% for a brand that's doing 1 million a year or 100,000 a year, and you double their conversion rate, you double their revenue, right? So I hope my voice doesn't die tonight. Wish me luck. So now what we want to do is let's on the USP for this site. And I'll say this as well, right? There is a whole GPT dedicated in here to trust statements. There is a whole thing in here generated to USB. There is a whole thing generated to H1s for everything. I've got a cheat code because I made the thing, so I can do it all in the same sequence system here. So can you guys actually. So now let's do this though. So USP means unique selling proposition. So the people who go to markets and it's like old mate and he's like 60 and he could talk underwater at a market. I'm probably looking at you, Rod Hyatt. I know you pretty well, so, but they hook you in with like a sentence that goes for like 20 words or something, like, hi, I'm Rod. I'll teach you how to grow bees and, or keep bees and have the best honey that you've ever had in your entire life And if you don't, I'll come to your house and I'll make sure you figure out how to do it. And people go, sign me up, Rod. But everyone forgets to do that on their website, right? So for context, Rod sells beehives and does that. So I know a bit about what he does. So you need something like that. As soon as you land on the site, now I've lost your tab. Where is it? There. So in here. So it's another statement, and you go in there and you're like, cool, I read that. And that's another yes. All right. So we'll come back here. What have we got here? So are all the products called Reef? Is that right? Or am I getting that wrong?
Yeah, so we have one product for now, and it's just called the Reef chair. So there's just 3 colorways.
Okay, right. So again, you read this right. Reef is the kids' lounge that looks right at home inside, then happily heads outside for backyard missions, beach days, and snack fueled adventures. It's white, clean, water resistant, and made for little loungers who treat relaxing like a full-time job. You read that and you laugh. Like, this is another thing when I do this for brands. Like, you want people to read a sentence and smile.
Yeah.
All right. So not only are they going, yes, they're also laughing and they're smiling and they get that in their
Creating
heart.
feelings rather than just yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. People don't want to go, oh, it's a couch made out of styrofoam. Do you know what I mean? Or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So, and it's good. It's got stitching. Like, a lot of people do that. They write this sort of stuff and they do it just from a features perspective, right? People don't buy features. People buy feelings. People buy how are they going to look better to their friends. So mums are going to buy this because they want other mums to come to their home and be like, Stace, where'd you get that thing from? That's beautiful. Like, you're a good mum.
I initially made it for the bougie Bondi mums. I was like, they want nice things in their house. They don't want this ugly cartoon, like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So that's it. All right. We've got that sorted. Let's have a look. You're making big progress here already. So get in here. So next thing that I want to talk about here is when it comes to actually building a high converting website, right? And for example, this is a high converting website that we've built. And this lady sells like $200,000 a month or 150 grand a month of a bag that you keep veggies in your fridge, and it makes your cucumbers last longer. Everyone's like, what the hell? It's one product in different colors. It's what I call a high converting website. It's a high converting website because she has a homepage, she has a collection page, she has a product page, she has the cart. And on all of those pages, there are lots of things that exist in there, and it exists there because this is what I call my store converter kit that she's using. And they're elements that improve how all of these pages convert, right? And if you don't have all of those elements in all of those pages, you're never going to have the optimal conversion rate that you can have. And it's a huge issue as you scale. I'll show you this quickly. So one of these things. So when we build sites for people, or when you all make a fantastic decision at the end of tonight's workshop and go, yes, Paul, we want to buy a converter kit. I know what it's about now. The converter kit has like all of these elements on every single page. I'm going to show you all of them because then you'll give it away for free. But there's like 200 items in there, right? That's your homepage. Here is your collection page. There's all these things. Then we go to your product page. There's all these things. This is just on the product page, right? And if you have all of these things on all of those pages, here is the cart page, where this is the cart drawer. All of those things enable your site to convert a lot better, right? So this is where most people don't spend enough time fixing. So Chris Velato, who spoke about at the start of this, he spoke about your story. Your story is this stuff. We spoke about the messaging. Your store is everything that exists in this thing. Then the strategy is, now what do I do from an ads perspective? Whatever, right? So even if we want to go deeper, when I work with monster brands, I even go like, we look at an image optimization checklist, right? So this is just the images on your page. There is 125 lines in this thing, right? That's just like, here is how you make images convert better on your website. So for example, here's another one of a website that we did. I worked with a ladies underwear brands about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. And we realized that all the women on the website, other women would go to the website and I'd be like, she's very fit and attractive, but I don't know what size she is. So on the images, we just go, hey, this is Stacey. She's a 12C, D, or whatever. Conversion rate went through the roof because women are just like, yeah, I'm the same size as her. My bust is about the same size. Easy. Then we added all the other stuff to the product page. Like it says in stock, ready to ship. Like we have a fit guarantee. If it doesn't fit, return it. Like it's, it's not made out of polyester. It's made out of cotton. The other 100 things that went onto that page. And that's why that site now does like 8 figures a year, right? That's like hundreds and hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars a month. Not just because we said, hey, this is what size the ladies so-and-so's are on the thing, right? There's a lot of things that went on that page that improved that site. Does this make sense to everybody? So one exercise I like to do here, just to really hit the point home, is that what sort of revenue does the business do at the moment monthly, Stacey? Roughly?
I've sold like 5 to my friends. We did 2 week or 10 days worth of ads, sold 7, but it was at a way higher price when I was with the other business. So basically less than 1,000.
Less than 1,000. How much are they again?
One's 159.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Let's do some theoretical math then. So this is not actually accurate. So where do we want to go with this? Chris, where was everyone at in terms of size? A lot of startups?
A lot of startups, yeah.
Okay, all right. So let's pretend my new friend Stacey had 5,000 visitors a month going to her website, and her average order value, and average order value means when people order from your website, guys, that means on average they spend $159 a month per order with Stacey. All right. Now, let's assume Stacey's conversion rate is 1.1%. All right. So how much money is Stacey making with this business with those numbers monthly? Someone who's a maths genius, I could probably figure this out quicker than I can, but I'm good at ecom, not maths. So let's assume that was what was happening for Stacey. 5,000 visitors, conversion rate 1.1, average order value $159, 55 orders a month. Stacey right now would probably be stoked if she had 55 orders a month, $8,000 a month, right? You go, yeah, whatever. But now let's change 2 numbers. Just 2 numbers, right? And again, I would never promise that this is what's going to happen if I build Stacey's website or I fixed her brand strategy, but I could probably say I can do a pretty good job at it. So now let's assume that Stacey continues to have 5,000 visitors a month, but her conversion rate is now 2.4% and her average order value is $197. How much more money will Stacey make monthly? How much more money will Stacey make over the course of a year? How much more money will Stacey make over the course of 2 years? And put this in a graph so that I can see it and give me those results. I do this exercise because some people are so tied to their terrible websites that they never fix it. And they're like, it's expensive to build a website, Paul. I'm like, okay, like this brand's doing $8,000 a month. Let's assume I told Stacey it's going to cost her $8,000 for me to fix her website, which is what it would cost her if I did it and did a beautiful site, right? I just want to illustrate how much money and opportunity and time she's going to lose by just leaving it as it is. And actually, she's not here anyway, right? So it's worse than this. So monthly current revenue, $8,000. Improved revenue, if we fix that number, $23,000. Annual current revenue, 104. Improved revenue, 283,000. 2 years, $209,000. Improved, $567,000. So huge improvement. And that's only by fixing two things at the moment, right? That's not helping Stacey run better ads, send better emails, write better ads, anything, work with influencers better, blah, 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 blah. Because so many people spend so much time doing all of the stuff that is not on their website, right? You all go get more products. You all go spend money on meta ads. You get sucked into some idiot who says, I'll do search engine optimization for you, or I will do this and I will do that. And no one ever tells you to fix your website and fix your the story before you do the strategy component. It will be equivalent, like sometimes I give this terrible example, but if you think about, for those of you that are now in relationships, you went out on a date, I would assume you dressed good and you spoke good, right? You didn't go out in your Crocs and your trackies, half drunk and you couldn't communicate. You would have come home with a dud, right? So for those of you that go, I did dress good and I spoke good, I got a good partner. Most people's websites are a bit half drunk and like looking messy, right? So you need to fix these things properly. Does this make sense? Any questions? And I don't say this to make Stace feel bad. Like she said, I'm a nurse. I'm saving lives. I'm
Oh,
a
this
web
is
developer.
literally, I'm about to cry. This is so exciting. I was about to pack it in. I'm over it. And I'm seeing this. I'm like, there's hope. Oh
I
my
meet so
God.
many brands like you all the time that are like, there is hope. Like, I've got a good product. I just haven't, not even that you haven't marketed it properly. Like, it's just site's not doing what the site is as a mechanism for your business, not doing what it's supposed to do. Again, like it's the equivalent of a lot of people we meet, they go, I've got a bricks and mortar store, Paul, and it does really, really well. And I said, and I said, can you do me a favor? Yeah. Like, what do you say when I come into your shop? And they go, I say this. And I go, cool. And you're friendly and you're exciting and you're playful and okay, cool. Now go show me what outside the shop looks like. And they go, look at it. There's banners and unicorns and flags and shit and sign and da 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 da. I'm like, what a great experience. I said, now show me your website. I'm like, what is this thing? You bought the cheapest possible theme that you could find on the internet. You didn't put any of the fun stuff. You got 900 different fonts. Doesn't make sense. I can't even add stuff to the cart. Doesn't tell me when it's going to ship or how it's going to ship or can I return it? And they go, I get it. It makes sense. Right. So any questions from anyone else about this so far?
You got a couple nice comments coming through. John
I
says,
can't
great
read
info
the
and
chat at the
strategy.
same time. Great info strategy. Yeah. Cool. All right. So we're going to map out Stacey's plan. I'm going to turn this off and do this. Continue. All right, there you go. Stace, hook up Kylie with a mates rate. She wants one for her daughter. Chuck us the coupon code or something. So we're going to do this exercise quickly whilst Stacey makes a sale in the comments. So this is called Fast Path Plan. So this is why we want to work with brands over the next like 12 months, 2 years, because like there's a lot of things you can fix quickly and there's a lot of things that take a bit more time. So let's go through this. Pick a color. Chris, what's your favorite color? Pink. No.
Green and
All
blue.
right. Great. All right, we'll use this color. So first thing we want to fix, what do you think it is, Stacey? We've got to fix. And it's going to help you out here. It's your story. All right. You're going to see lots of S's, unfortunately, but got to fix your story. Like nail that, use that in your ads, use that everywhere. Second thing, fix the store. All right. S again. Next thing, fix your strategy. And this does not take 90 days. Right. So we're going to talk about a cool thing at the end of this. It's a challenge where you work with us for 12 weeks, but these things get fixed in like 2-3 weeks. Right. So then we go strategy. Strategy is like, oh, now I've got a story that sounds really good and a site that's built to convert. I should probably run some ads because Stacey goes, well, I've probably got a gross margin of maybe like 50% or something. So I go, as long as I can make a sale for like $30 and every time I put money into ads, I can acquire a customer for $30 and I can sell that. I go, cool, I'm going to chuck in thousands of dollars a month. Put in $1,000, I get back 5 or whatever, right? So I go, cool. What are we going to do there? We're going to run some meta ads. And then anyone who doesn't buy from Stacey on the first purchase, all we're going to do is we're going to set up our email flows. So this is getting a bit fancy, but we'll set up emails to go, hey, you didn't purchase. We want to send you the story about the brand and the founder and our kids and our other customers and all the other cool stuff. So people get like 7 or 8 proper emails that you've written yourself in the command center because the emails that come out of the command center are just like amazing. And you all sound like world-class copywriters. So you go, cool, we do that. And then the person, let's assume again, someone come here and they didn't buy. And then they get the email, you go, great, we send them back to here. And you go, we got them as a customer. Right? This is how Stacey and people like Stacey and all you brand newbies need to set up your businesses over the next like 12 weeks with us. You do this bit and change color, maybe if I can. This is not optional. This is not optional. This is not optional. These things are optional, right? So, but again, you can start meta ads, $5, $10 a day, $2 a day if you want. Some of our clients spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. But for you guys, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, boom, done. You have a business now. Makes sense? Any questions about it? It's got a lot of like webcams off. I don't know who's watching here.
When you're doing this type of strategy and you hit a point, how do you know when to implement another product or branch out?
Yeah. So inside of the command center, we literally have let's assume things were going fantastic for you, right? So you go to the command center and you go, in your case, I wouldn't tell you to branch out. I'd be like, scale this thing to the moon. You can have one product business that you do $1 million a month
Perfect.
selling these cool chairs
Sounds
to
good.
kids. Do you know what I mean? You don't
Yep.
have to have 400 products. This is like what most people stuff up and get wrong. They have one product, they try to sell it, they don't sell it. What does everyone do? I'll go get another product.
That's what I've
Another
already been
product.
doing.
It's
Yeah.
also like not a one size fits all thing there either. It's like everyone's type of business is a different business model. So all these things are taken into account. And like you use this
Mm.
to always come back and see, okay, what's my game plan now? Like you always come back to this plan and say, are we on track? What's my next step?
Yeah. I'll show you something too, right? So I wouldn't normally do this, but what the heck? Inside the, and I keep talking about, I hope everyone understands what the command center is so far, but like what it's capable of is ridiculous. So if you come back in here and you click on this thing called scorecard, right? So this is still a work in progress. Chris McLean and I have been working on this for ages, and you can come through here, right? And you go, I'm just starting out or I'm growing, right? So you go, I'm starting. And again, we literally get you to come through here and we do a scorecard call inside of our community every single week. And we'll pick people on the call and I'll be like, Stacey, it's your turn today. Paula, it's your turn today. Karina, it's your turn. Nathan, it's your turn. Kylie. And I'm going to rate things in here under stock. So stock is your product. Story was the next thing. Store was the next thing. Strategy. So I'd go, Stacey got a 4 on this, a 5 on that, a 3 on that, a 2 on that, a 1 on that. What Stacey then comes along and does, if I gave her a poor score on this, she then comes along and go, oh, Paul gave me a 3. Like, cool, I know what I need to fix. You come down in here and you go, I probably need to validate that the product is actually a good product to sell. So you click this, you go to the command center and it asks you all the questions that I would ask you. You get to the end of it and Stacey will be like, yeah, cool, it is actually validated. It's good. It's probably actually a 7. And you go, 7's as good as I'm going to get. You go, cool, move on to the next thing. So we do that for stock. We do that for story. We do that for store. We do that for strategy. And then once beginners have dialed all that in, right, you come down here and you start building out the engine of the business. So you go, all right, well, I need to start doing some marketing. So I go, well, where are you going to market at the moment? You go, I'm going to do meta ads. I go, okay, great. So use that. Click go. You got a 4. Come in here and you go, I might start building a campaign, right? And all the answers in here is literally as I was coaching you to do that. So you can be doing exactly like what Jade that Chris spoke about before. She's got a business. She's a mum. Like she's online in the middle of the night.
She loves this
powering
thing.
through this stuff.
She
You know what I mean?
loves
I don't even see Jade on calls. Like she's just like asking questions, doing this. And then she goes to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. Because you need to think of this as if it's a loop, right? So because over time, most of you right now are probably sitting around here. Like, let's be honest, right? But most of you also don't want to do $1 million a month. Most of you go, man, if I do 20 grand a month, I'd be stoked. So you go, all right, I'm going to work with Paul and the team over the next 12 months. And if I can get, and I need to scroll down for a bit. Yeah, I've got to scroll to there. If I can get the foundations right, and I can get things to like a 7 overall, and I can get over here things to like a 6 overall, I'll just inch away at this and I'll go, cool, this got me to 2 grand, 5 grand, 10 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand, 40 grand. And when you're stuck in the command center, you jump into our coaching community, of which we do like 8 to 9 calls a week. There is 400 people. There's 15 coaches. And you just go, guys, I'm a bit stuck on this thing. And we go, cool, here's the answer. And you go, cool, see you next time. Do the next thing, right? Does this make sense? So it's very different to how every other guru on the internet tells you just like, build a crap website. They don't teach you how to do strategy. And they just go like spend all your money on meta ads and pray that it works. Right? That's not how you grow a brand. Make sense? And then once you reach,
can I add to that, Paul, as well? If someone tells you they can build their entire business for you, also that's
run. You're going to see, I wouldn't call people out who my competitors, but you say like smoking hot chick going, I can sell you a business in a box for 15 grand and you'll be rich in 6 months. And look at me, we hang out at Byron Bay or Bali and shit. Run away. Like all we're doing is selling you a business in a box to like 10 other suckers who sell the same shit. And it's like all drop shipping crap from China. Right. So do not do that. It's just rubbish. Right. Building an e-commerce business in the current economy is easy when done right, but it takes time. and you've got to follow the logical steps.
That's where we got up to with them. Exactly who you're talking about. We got to this point and then they wanted to just punch Meta and I was like, no.
I wasn't
No.
even referring you. I've actually heard so many of these in the last couple of days. So it's not just yourself, Stacey. Yeah, it's probably a lot of people here too went through the same
And
thing.
it just didn't sit right with me. I was like, this doesn't something it doesn't feel
It
right.
has
And
to
I
be
was
your
like,
business.
yeah.
It has to be.
This industry is full of, I mean, we don't want to get political, right? This industry is full of charlatans. Like anyone who's run an e-commerce business for 5 minutes and they've got a laptop and an internet connection can go, hey, I'm a coach. And if they can talk good, they'll be like, oh, well, you look trustworthy. You look like a cool person. But like, they're not. I would go as far as saying there's probably only 2 other coaching communities in Australia that are good. All right. So please take heed with that. Most of them are absolute nonsense. Like, so we're not the biggest, but we're the best, right? So, do you want to do this for another brand, Chris? Has that been helpful for you, Stacey?
Unbelievable. I'm very excited. I'm going to join your challenge and then we can get cracking on all this. So, yeah. Thank you so much. Very appreciated.
No worries. So, I'll say just to finish out that bit with Stacey, right? So, what I did with the command center, this is stuff we do all day, every day. I get on a call every day and go, we're going to fix this for Kylie, and then we're going to do the next thing, next thing, next thing, next thing, right? So, this is why it all exists for. Who's next, Chris?
I don't know. Did you pick 2 earlier? I had a couple. So does anyone
Chris
else want to
McLean.
run one of these through? If you guys are excited to keep doing another one of this, we'll do one more before we get to the
Here's your
last
chance,
bit.
guys. It's rare.
Just go ahead and drop your link to your website again. There were a couple. There was a parrot one that I really wanted to look at. That was pretty interesting.
I'll have a quick look. What did Rod say? Too cheap. That's good.
I'm happy. There we go. Yeah, magic feathers from Nathan. That's the one.
All right, let's have a look at the. I did look at the gin side before, and I'll say, Beck, I'm trying to come off mute. You're actually doing a pretty good job, but let's have a look anyway. There's always more that I can fix. So let's
Beck
have
has
a look.
been around the ringer, I think, with agencies and stuff. So she's coming from a similar place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feel free to come off mute if you can, Beck.
Am I off now? Yep.
Yeah, got ya.
Yes, I did deal with someone who promised the world, delivered nothing, and then I've had to rebuild it again.
You've done a pretty good job.
Thank you.
Like it's a nice looking website. Clearly, I like pink. I got like a pink guitar behind me and rah rah, and like black, good color choices. So, so what's the go? Give us your pitch about what's going on here. So it's a distillery, or what is it?
Yeah, we're a small family-run distillery in Mount Compass in South Australia.
Yeah.
We've won a lot of awards, a lot of international awards, best gin in the world in 2023. We have just been doing like markets and online sales until recently when we've opened our own cellar door here in Mount Compass. So we've sort of got 2 directions on the site now. One where people are coming and making bookings, like to come and visit us, and then just simply the online side.
Okay. All right. So from it, like, this is another thing I think a lot of people struggle with. Like you are, I'm gonna say lucky, like you've got a good eye, like nice fonts, nice images, everything looks good, right? So, and you also have a lot of the conversion rate elements in the right spot, but you're missing hundreds of them. So for you, your next journey is like absolutely is to put all the conversion rate elements into the site properly. So when Chris and I talk later at this presentation about like the converter kit, you may not need that because you're doing a lot right already, but there will be a different way that will help you. You definitely need the community and the command center, because one thing that's missing from you, so I'm going to scroll down here. Excuse me. I've been talking for like 7 hours today, so forgive me if my voice dies. Who stays up in the middle of the night and sees like the infomercials on TV, where old mate's going to try and sell you Tupperware and that kind of stuff, or steak knives and things, right? So the reason they do that is because that's called a video sales letter. And a video sales letter uses tons of psychology and persuasion and what I like, cool stuff that they can do to persuade you to buy. So one of the number one things that we would help you when you join the community is actually writing a video sales letter for the homepage. So now the reason I say this for a brand like yours is because like Leah from Sunza Collective that we spoke about before, her top performing ad at the moment, and for context, she sells a cooler bag, right? It looks like this. She's in a massive cutthroat industry with heaps of people selling stuff like this, but like she's doing very, very well. But the game changer for her was she bought the converter kit. This is the converter kit. She uses the command center. She logged into the command center. She made this video sales letter on her own while I coached her through it. And now this is in her ad, and this is what's crushing it for her. So you need the same thing, right? And then secondary, you need to go and use all the other things in here that help with all the other stuff we're going to talk about. I might not go through this fully because if I do, it'll probably take me an hour, and I might actually, I'll give you all a bit of a behind the scenes about what this does, because I think it's important for everyone to understand how poor ChatGPT is and how poor Claude is, right? So, because like I said at the start, you go to ChatGPT and you go, write me a video sales letter, it's going to produce absolute slop, which is not going to do anything. So when you use this thing and you come in here, and I'll show you, I won't show you the whole thing, but there is, let me load it up. So if I click configure, so this is my back end of the system that I've made, right? If you go into here, there is all of this context that helps you write a really, really good video sales letter for your website. So you're like, hey, here is the identity of the GPT. Here is the core beliefs that we have. Here is how we need to launch it. Here is how we coach the user to do it. And again, I'm not going to go through all of it, but like, I think there's like 6,000 words or something in here, or 4,000 words, right? ChatGPT does not do this, right? So you use my system, you do that, and you end up with a video sales letter that if you paid a professional outside of our community to do it, they charge you like 10 grand, right? It's the same with everything in here, right? So this one in here, for example, email engine, right? It's even bigger again. This will help you write emails to your audience. I think this one has like something like 7,000 words or something sitting in here, right? So every time you just go, can you write me an email to my audience? You sound like a pro. You sound like the best copywriter, the best marketer on the planet, right? So really, really important that you understand this. Trying to think where we should go with this for this particular brand. It's probably a case of we just probably need to get on a call and have a chat about this one, I think, because there's a lot of moving parts that we can probably help you out with this. What do you think, Chris V? If you're still there.
Sorry, I was on mute there, mate.
You're on mute, Chris.
Sorry. I literally got someone ringing my doorbell right now, Paul. Sorry.
Okay, all right.
Sorry about that.
His Uber driver's rocking up to give him
Actually.
his whatever. He'll be back in a minute. Let's have
Paul,
a quick look.
Do you have a better suggestion if you've got a site that needs to split off into two sides? So like us with like visitors coming to the cellar door and then online sales, is there some sort of strategy that works well to do that?
I don't think you need to for a cellar door type business. You can do both very well. It's just as soon as you land on the homepage, it needs to be clear. You go, hey, where you can come and visit and you can purchase directly. Like, okay. I don't see anything on the homepage. There's no button here that says, other than in the header, there's a little tiny shop button, but it says, hey, book your visit to the distillery, obviously, or start shopping, you know? Okay, so cool. Even if I scroll down a bit, like it takes me a bit of time to get to your best sellers. I can't say like, here's your best sellers, here's your new arrival, here's your crowd favorites. They're a bit down the page as well. Even the way that you've got like the pink icon to purchase the product on the homepage, many people are going to get confused by that. They go, hang on, I can't see another card button. All right. It's the same as if I go here, you're like, okay, like I can add it to the cart, but like when does it ship? How does it ship? Like where is the breadcrumbs on the page? Where is the 20 photos of people drinking the product? And they look like they're having the best time ever. Like these are all things that need to go into the pages as well. Does that make sense? So again, I would refer you back to like when you jump into our community, the first thing you'd want to do is you would run through like this checklist and go, we need to make all of this stuff for our images and all this stuff and all the other stuff, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, thank you.
And some of this stuff I can't speed through. Like this is we do it on the calls and I'll show you how it all works and so forth. So, but in terms of your fast path plan, I'm going to draw it for you too. I'll do this and then Chris will jump onto the next bit. I'm worried my voice is just going to cook in a minute, and then Julian will be doing all the talking. So let's go. Right, let's go here and we'll do this exercise. So you've got a pretty good website already, I reckon. I think your story definitely needs some work. So come in here again. It's going to be the exact same formula. Fix your store. Look, what did that do? It's doing some weird triangle thing. I'll try again. Do that. Do this. So come down here. Fix the story. Fix all of the conversion rate issues that exist on the site. I just want to quickly look at it again. Look, it may be a case of rebuilding the site again, unfortunately, because there is a lot of elements that are kind of stuff is in the wrong order. If you don't have everything in the wrong order, it causes conversion issues as well. So fix the store. What's the rules with, like, you can run meta ads and sell alcohol, right? You just need to go, you need to be above 18 to be able to purchase it.
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
rules around that, is there?
No.
Yeah. Honestly, like the biggest thing missing from you is, even if I look at the homepage, there's just like slabs and slabs of text. It just needs like some really good videos on there. Like do a walkthrough, do that kind of thing. So that's where I would be focusing. I would get like a world-class VSL done for this brand. So VSL, then
Just yesterday, I removed the video because it was slowing the whole site down.
yeah, that's an easy fix. You just haven't embedded it into the website, right? So we do a tech call in the community where we show you how to do that. So like you can load like a little chunk of it first, and then you can load the whole video, and then you can defer how it loads so it loads faster. So really important that you do that. And don't listen blindly to what like Google page speed says or Pingdom says or any of those things. Look at how the site actually loads. So that's where I would be going here. I mean, there's a lot of work to do, and like alcohol brands online are super competitive, right? So you need to have a sensational message. So for you, that video, that brand strategy process that we went through, I would go do the whole thing properly with Chris. Go through it, dial it in, nail it once and forever, because you're a big brand. I would imagine you spend a ton of money on this location. You spend a ton of money on staff and production. You go, yeah, I could stuff around and do myself. I'll just do it properly once and for all, and away you go. Make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, we'll park that there for now, Chris, and then cut back to you. That's cool. Thank you, everyone, so far. That's been fun for me, anyway.
Yeah, we'll get on to the end bit. Thank you, everybody, again for staying around. Just bear with me. I got a couple questions to ask everybody. Go ahead and share my screen one more time. Let me know. Sorry, Paul, can we see everything? Just give me a thumbs up if we're good. Are we sharing? Yep, perfect.
Yep.
So I'm going to ask everyone a couple of questions, and sorry for the sniffling. I want you to, it's kind of a bit of a vulnerable thing, and I'm thinking, Paul, should we add product to this as well? Because that is kind of the four things. I might actually just throw that in too, because there's going to be a lot of people here who haven't got a product yet in their business.
100%, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like, you should have stock at the first one.
Yeah, we'll change that. That's all good. But everybody, what I'm going to ask you to do right now is to be very honest and a little bit vulnerable, and to rate yourself in each of the, I'm going to say, the four things that we went through there. So there's your stock, your store, your story, and your strategy. I'm going to give about a minute for everyone to kind of think of this for themselves. I want you to rate yourself just say it's a red if it's really bad, if you don't think it's good right now and it needs fixing ASAP. A yellow if it's okay, needs a bit of work. Or a green if it's really, really, or it's already good and you've already nailed it. Now, I want you to rate yourself on each of those for your business if you're running a business already. If you haven't started one yet, I want you to rate yourself based on your confidence, how confident you feel like you are to tackle each of these areas. So again, we'll do that for your stock, your store, your story, your strategy. I'll give everyone about a minute. Let me know there's no wrong answers, by the way. Let me know your answers below where you're at with each of these, and then we'll kind of get into the next bit. There we go. You can just copy Chris's green, yellow, red there to give yourself a rating on each. Okay, Colleen with red, red, red. Yep, all good. It's good to understand where you're at. Red, red, red for John. Renee, store red, story yellow, strategy yellow. Nice. Paula store red, story red, strategy red, um, yellow, red. For Mark is red, red, red. Judy, yellow, red, red, red times three. Stacey, what's that one, Stacey? Sorry. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. That's good too. Okay, all good. All right. Gotcha. Cool. I appreciate everyone being really honest. It's important to when you're trying to figure out how do I get to where I want to be, it's really important to figure out where are my strengths and weaknesses right now. And I want to ask you one more question. If we were to help you to dial all these into green, so you had a product that was good, that it was able to build a strong business, that you had a website that was built to convert, that you had a clear brand messaging strategy, and you had a clear strategy on how you're going to grow the business. If each of these were green, do you believe that you could build a successful business? Just let me know yes or no in the chat if you think that's the case. If we could get you to green for each of those things you just scored yourself on. Yes
Can
from
they ever?
Paula. Yes from John. Yes from Renee. Yes from everybody so far. Awesome. I'm glad that you think so. And we definitely agree with you. That's the whole reason we do this. Because factually, when it comes to even especially e-commerce, most businesses crash and burn within the first year of operating. And most of the time, it comes down to these three things, well, four really, that they didn't nail. They didn't pick a really good product. They a lot of the time just picked some crap product. They didn't spend time nailing the website. They didn't really make clear their brand messaging strategy, and they never had an actual growth strategy that was kind of putting into time frames when they're doing what. And this is why most of the time it happens. And this is not to say that it's so simple. You just get these things and you got something perfect. It's not simple. It takes a lot of effort. It is a lot of hard work. But the important thing is for us, we're not here to sell you a dream on it's here you go, grab these and you'll just be able to succeed straight away. What we are really keen to do is to give you the guardrails to be able to nail these. So if you come in and you're somebody who is hardworking, because this is the question you can't avoid, you have to be willing to do the work. But with the right foundations, the right guardrails, you can hone that hard work into something that actually becomes successful, and you can end up building a business this way. So that is the only thing we ask of you is that if you're willing to stay around to this point in the call, that you are someone who is, willing to actually put in the work to growing their businesses. And that's the kind of person that we want to work with as well. Sorry, I just accidentally stopped sharing there.
I turn to Chris.
Oh,
On
yeah.
to the next slide.
All
Yeah.
good if you want to go. Or go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, cool. All right. So you're probably wondering, where do we go from here? So, if you're doing between 20 to like 0 to 20 grand a month, like stick with us, right? Because I'm going to talk about exactly what you need. If you are above 20K or you're a bigger brand or you're in there, what we're going to do is Chris from our team or one of the Chris's or Julian is going to drop a link for you guys to actually book a one-to-one call with our team, and we'll map out a different plan for you. But what we want to do is, as I've spoken about a lot, you've seen all of the different parts that go into building a successful e-com brand, right? But you haven't seen the order that it all goes in. And obviously doing it on your own, after the kids are asleep or watching all the courses that you should be watching and trying to keep up momentum becomes very hard, right? So we built this thing because it's the thing that I wish I had a very long time ago. So I want to introduce the Side Hustle to Serious Store Challenge. So this is a 12-week challenge, right? Now, some of you already have a store. The goal is to get your store to become a much better store, right? For those of you that have nothing, right? And again, we work with tons of brands that like Jade and like Leah and like all of them. We want to go with inside 6 weeks. We want to put you in a room with amazing coaches. We want to arm you with everything you need, and we want to be in your corner every single day. So going to go through what this all looks like. So over the course of 12 weeks, for those of you that are a bit like not sure about stock, even for you, Stacey, this is still applicable. You might be like, what else should I sell with this? Dominic, you might be like, I'm not sure, like everybody else, right? So first 2 weeks, we spend figuring out, are you selling the right thing? Are you talking about it the right way, et cetera, et cetera. Then we dial in your story, right? So we say the right thing to the right person. So they spend lots of money with us using the brand strategy, using the command center, et cetera, et cetera. Then we spend a lot of time on your store. And I'll say, even though this says like 5 to 6 weeks, we're working on this stuff all day, every day. Some people go, I want to move much faster than 12 weeks, in which case the community supports that as well. But for the newbies, we go, cool, by the end of 12 weeks, you now have a selling the right product, saying the right thing on the right store, and you got a strategy ready to rock and roll. So what we want to do, again, I've spoken a little bit about this as well. So for those of you that jump in and join this today, you get immediate access to all of the calls straight away tomorrow. 8 live calls. There is, how many coaches do we have at the moment, Chris? Like 12 coaches or something, and they're all on different topics, right? We have a full course library. Inside the course library, there's a thing that teaches you how to run meta ads, how to do brand strategy, how to do creative strategy, how to pick the perfect product. Like, you get that included in there. You get access to the community. You get answers to your questions answered in like a few minutes, right? You get the scorecard in the command center. So I showed the scorecard. Everyone know what I'm talking about with the scorecard, and they know what the command center is, right? And what we're going to do here as well is, because it's a challenge, we want to make sure that you've got everything that you possibly need in here again. So we also include what we call our store converter kit. So, sorry guys, 1 second.
I can talk a little bit about the converter kit while you get your breath back there, Paul.
Yeah.
So the converter kit, basically what we've done, everybody, and I think I've spoken to a few of you about this earlier in the week. So we coach people how to build amazing websites, but we also build amazing websites ourselves with our dev team. And we just found that when it comes to helping people build their brands, that website side of things is like a big roadblock, because we can teach you what to put on, but then the reality of how do I get it on there kind of strikes, and you don't want to be stuck spending hours coding just for one heading change, etc. So what we've done essentially with the converter kit is we've taken everything that we put into when we custom build a website for bigger brands, and we've turned that into our very own template. So as part of this challenge, when it comes down to building your store, so it's optimized for e-commerce, you're going to have the actual template that we use when we build websites for brands. So as we go along, we'll tell you what needs to go where, and you'll have everything already there for you to access. You don't have to worry about coding. You're not going to spend hours at night pulling your hair out. You just listen to what we tell you to do and you follow along.
So some good examples that I might get the team to share is like the Sunza website, the Produce Pod website, the Olva website. They're all built on the converter kit. So you can see the kind of website that you can have. The reason we also include the converter kit is because most people go to Shopify and they get like the Dawn theme, the Impulse theme, the Turbo theme. They don't have all these elements that you need, right? So those themes are not built to convert. And then you have a story that doesn't say the right thing. Then you have no strategy. That's why we're giving you all 3 things, right? So now these are all, you can't see all of them. Some are a bit tiny, but these are all the amazing coaches in our community. So this Lockie, he runs meta ads for all the clients in there. Sophie runs ads. Emma builds websites. Shane is one of the guys who came up with like the Movember campaign, right? These are heavy hitters in the space that do amazing stuff. I won't go through everybody, but everyone in here is a brilliant coach. They're all based in Australia, except for this guy, whoever he is. He's in Nepal, but like he's phenomenal at Klaviyo and emailing and so forth, right? So all these coaches, always calls all the time, basically. One thing that we want to do, which I think is super exciting, this is why it's called a challenge, is because I want people to win, right? So at the end of the challenge, I'm going to come along and go, I think this is the best store. I think this is the best strategy. I think this is the best overall numbers. This person was the best team player in the community. We're going to give away a prize, a money prize, probably like, the total pool will be a couple of grand divided up amongst everyone. And also everyone who finishes, they're going to go on the transformation more. We go, all these brands finished as well, right? So then you can go and, gloat to your friends that you did amazing stuff and et cetera, right? So who likes winning? Hopefully most of you like winning cool stuff. So again, this is for people exactly like Jade. She had no product. She had a full-time job. Karen, who was in her 60s, she's sick of Etsy. Leah, who was in another community, is making no sales. Perfect for people just like that, right? So perfect for people also that are doing this as a side hustle, but they want to do it properly, right? Or you can also find a few hours a week. You can bring in your numbers. You want a business that pays you money and not just pays the ATO. You're coachable and you're fun to work with, right? This is not for people that want to be rich by next Tuesday. Right. So you're going to have to do some hard work here. It's not for people that want us to do everything. And most of all, it's not for people that just want to buy something and never do anything with it. Right. We want to actually help people, do this properly. So get into the fun bit now. So again, just to recap on the whole challenge, right? So you get full 12 months worth of access to the community, full 12 months access to the command center. You get the converter kit, you get everything in here. So what we're doing tonight for the first people that jump into this, we're doing $3,000 for all of that, or you can also actually pay it off over the next 3 months. So we want to make it as affordable as possible for people to jump into this and then, get everything that they need right now, the perfect time. So I'll continue going on a little bit. So we're probably going to cap this at about 20 brands because we want to make sure that we overservice all of you. I don't want hundreds of people in this thing and people get forgotten about. I want Stacey to go to a call and get help like she did. I want Kyla to go to a call and get help like I just gave Stacey. I want Mark to go to a call and get tons of help, right? So that when we do this again next time, your faces are on here and going, look at all their sites. They were here and now they're here if you want to, unless you're in hiding or something. So now this thing starts in 11 days, but if you buy it today, you get instant access and you jump straight in tomorrow and you start getting into everything. Go to all the calls, get all the courses, watch all the training, play with the command center, get the converter kit set up in a few days and away you go. So I've kind of covered this already anyway. So that's what your 12 weeks pass would look like in the community. Importantly as well, some of you might want to move a bit faster than other people, right? So once you reach that next level that you're going to reach as well, we're there for you. We know what you need to do at your next step as well. For those of you that go, you know what, it might take me longer than 12 weeks. Well, that's cool. That's why we let you stay in the community for the whole year, right? So for those of you that are, obviously chanting at the bit now to ready and get started, all you need to do is the boys are going to drop a link to this. Jump in, you'll get instant access to everything, and we'll get you into the community tomorrow. So one thing I like to do now is people have objections to this kind of stuff, right? So everyone's like, oh, it's this, it's that, I'm scared, I've got this fear, or da 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 da. So I'll just throw back to you guys, and I won't put anyone on the spot, but hit me up with your concerns, right? And I'll actually answer all of them for you, whilst we sit here. So I can start with I don't know, Beck Hooper potentially.
We
what are things that you're thinking about at the moment, Beck? Sorry, Chris.
We actually we may as well start with the questions. We had one from Peter.
Oh, you had questions?
Yeah. Right. Yes. Peter's asked, where do they get the products from? If they're coming in, they don't have products. Obviously, they want to build a business. What do they do from here? What's their move?
Yeah. So that's the whole point of the command center and the perfect product course. So that, for example, the perfect product course that I filmed, it goes for about 2 hours and it says, sell these products that have this margin, that are this size, that are sourced from this location, that are all the good stuff. It's 20 years of my knowledge in 2 hours. And you go, I'm much clearer on what I need to sell. And then when you start to go, I think I've got a bit of an idea. Then you go to the command center and you go through picking the perfect product and you go, hey, I'm Beck and I want to sell this thing. What do you think? And it'll give you a really good answer. And then at the end of that, you just go into the community and you're like, hey guys, I'm thinking about selling this thing. Or you can message our team and you go, here's what I want to do. Can you help? And we'll go, yep, great idea or terrible idea. Go from there. So we have tons of people that join the community and have no idea what they want to sell. Or they're coming in and they're just selling rubbish. And the first thing I do is go, we've got to stop that. Don't do this anymore. Go do this instead. Because most people, right, they get into e-commerce and they follow the trends instead of following what they're passionate about. So blows my mind the amount of people that I meet that are going, I'm going to start trying to drop ship products out of China and it might be skincare. And it's a 55-year-old bloke. And I'm like, tell me about your background. He goes, I've been a plumber for 40 years. I go, why aren't you selling plumbing products on the internet? He's like, oh, because you can make money selling skincare, can't you? I said, you don't know nothing about skincare. You can't even run an ad because you're not very attractive, mate. So we help people pick the right product, right?
The right
product.
And then also from there, you could we can help sourcing, finding manufacturers, things like that. There's support for all that. So the whole shebang, really. Like, we try to make this an all-inclusive. Like, if you're at the very start and your goal is to build an e-commerce business, we want to be able to help you every step of the way from there. We got a question from Judy Paul that she's afraid that you will disappear once she pays, which I understand. That's a fair question. There are a lot of things out there where this is the case, but
Is Rod still here? Rod's one of our members, all right. Rod, how many calls a week you see me on the community? You've been there a year or something, haven't you? This is not staged, by the way. Rod just loves us so much. He comes to the calls in the community. He comes to the free calls. How many calls do you see like me on calls, Rod, and in the community?
I see you maybe 4 times a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do 5 calls a week, and he sees me 4 calls a week. So
yeah.
Yeah.
And the important thing is like the other calls that the coaches are taking, all the coaches that we have that aren't Paul, what we do is we bring in specialists from each area. So if they're teaching you brand messaging like Chris McLean, or they're teaching you meta ads, or they're teaching you Google, whatever it is, these people all actually do that as a service for the other brands we work with. So you're not just getting random information. These are people who Paul have brought together because they're experts in what they do. So it doesn't matter if Paul's on the call, even though he's at most of them, even if he's not, you're going to be handled by people who know what they're doing. And that's the important bit.
like you get to spend like 2 calls a week with like Chris McQueen admiring that beautiful mustache. And then you can go to Lockie and Sophie's call and you can listen to like Lockie just blow your mind with meta ads, and Sophie like is phenomenal at creative and so forth. And then you'll go to like the brand call with like Shane Thompson, who is the guy that he's worked at like Rip Curl and Monster Brands. You know, you go to the scorecard call with us. Like one of the members of our community runs a community call. She interviews people in the community. So there is always like different people in there. So I built this so that it's not just the Paul show as well, right? I like to think I know a lot, but like I've
There's
assembled
only
some
so
of the
much
best
Paul to go
coaches
around.
in the country, you know. So like I want you guys to be learning from all of them. And some people in the community go to all of Chris's calls, and some people go to all mine, and some people go to all both. And you know, like clearly if I had a mustache, I'd probably get Chris's audience to my call as well. But you know, here's what it is. So what was the next question?
We had a couple. So Judy gave me the time of the day for the calls, which they're anywhere from 10
typically
to...
like 10 in the morning. Some are a bit later, some are in the afternoon. We're rolling out calls where we're doing advisory calls later in the day. We're rolling out a few calls where we're doing after hours calls as well, because we know some people go like it's 8 o'clock on a Tuesday night and the kids are asleep, but I want to build my ecom brand. So we've got a few people going to do calls at those times as well.
But of course, everyone gets access to the recordings. So someone like Jade, who we mentioned, we love using Jade because she's just like, she literally was a ghost for us. She just couldn't, because she couldn't come to the calls live, right? And we would find out later down the track that she's just been watching the recordings, getting a bit of feedback in the community, and just slowly building up her business until she built this monster. So yeah, look, if you can't make the calls for whatever reason, the recordings will be awesome too.
So I'll show you. I'll give you the tour. Right, this is literally what happened. This is an app. You don't pay for this app. We include this for free. Put on your phone. Put on your computer. So there are all these channels in here. So there's like an email channel, a meta ad channel, a brand channel, an SEO channel, all the channels that you're all gonna need. Right, they're all public channels. And then there's channels like this, which is the general channel. And you go in there and you're like, all right, there's 413 other people. God's growing like a weed. But you go, I've got a question. I want to ask a question. Like whoever that person is, ask something. Then if you can't go to the call live, you come up here and there is a recording channel. Where is it? One of them. I'm gone blind.
Which one are you looking for?
Recording channel. So every single call is recorded. Right. This is exactly what Jade does. Jade goes, hey, Paul, I went and watched the SEO call and I watched the scorecard call and I watched this call about like user generated content. And she goes, I went and did the stuff. Right. Even the brands in our community that are doing hundreds of thousands of dollars a month over time, they like get these calls and they send them to their team and they go, hey, watch what Paul did on the call. And like they get their team to do the stuff, right? So this goes for ages. You can see how many calls.
Which that would be great for someone like Beck, for example. Like if you've got a bit of a team or some other people who help you, just you bring them in along with you on this ride, because then like they can use that and help you as well, which is important.
Yeah, we want to make you better so you understand how to build a brand, and then we want to make your team better. And then even for people like Leah, who we mentioned, right? So Leah joined and she built the business with her partner, and he's like not techie at all, but like he joined and he was using her account. And I'm like, why don't we just give him his own account? Because it's free. We give him an account of his own. Now he's in there. He knows how to pack orders. He knows how to do some ads. He knows how to because we want all the people that are involved in the business, whether that's, your husband, your wife, your daughter, your kid, your cat, whatever. Like if we can make all of those people in your business better, then you're going to make more money. That's our mission. Because like I keep saying, I'm a dad. It's really important that I help families build really good e-com businesses so that everyone knows why mum goes to work and works for stupid hours at work and builds a business, and then they can support you. All right. So does that make sense? You'll see my lovely wife on the Zoom at the moment in the bottom right-hand corner, like Emma. So you'll meet her in there. She makes all the great websites.
Becca's asked how many are in the community. Is a couple hundred, I think, at this point, Paul.
412.
Oh, there you go. It's growing.
Yeah.
And then she also asked when's the next 12-week intake, because she's actually going to be away for a couple of weeks in August. I don't think we don't have the next one
I haven't
lined
got
up.
another one for this year at the moment.
It's probably the last one for the year, Beck. But look, I think you probably need to just chat with the team anyway beforehand. You might be better for something separate than that challenge anyway. So look, we'll discuss that regardless and see what we can do. But yeah, at the moment, this is this is the first time we're getting everything that's ever worked for all these brands and putting it into like one accelerator program. So we haven't really organized the future ones. We're just going to see how we go, crush this one, and then we'll organize a couple more intakes next year. John has
You
asked.
can obviously still join the community and not be part of the challenge as well. Like Chris will talk to you about that. If we'll talk about that too.
Yeah.
No, every single person on this call, whether you decide to do the challenge or not, like there's no one on here that shouldn't have access to the community in the command center. All right. So, because like all of this, you all need all of this stuff.
John has just asked, can info products, templates, processes work? I don't know what you mean.
Yes, we have a brand in there. She sells ladies' dress patterns, and she does millions of dollars a year just of dress patterns. She does no physical products.
Yeah, digital products are actually great. There's if you have one of value, 100% try and sell that.
Yeah, well, this is a good product. It's great because no shipping, no picking, no packing. It's like
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah,
because we work with people that do everything. Some people do like print on demand in the community. Like people that sell t-shirts, people that make on demand. We have people that make the products when they need to. Other people just shipping out everything. How long is it expected to get the template? It depends on how techy you are, really. Like some people can do it in a weekend. It doesn't take long, Like Karen did it in like 5 or 6 days, and then you just keep making it better. Like a website is never finished, unfortunately. It's always can be better and better and better, especially when you work with me. I always find issues with it. And
I think we have a 2-week feedback block dedicated to store in that process. It's about 2 weeks at the moment, Paul.
Yeah.
Or 2 or 3. But yeah, we give you a couple of weeks to with guidance to really nail the site, which should be plenty of time, Stacey. Especially
for a brand like yours already, Stacey. Like it's literally we install the converter kit, and it's a case of like copying over your colors and your fonts and your banners to the converter kit, and you're like ready to rock and roll probably in a weekend. Like if you know your way around Shopify, everything's in the right order, and then we go, looking good. Let's change whatever else we need to change. And the reason I keep talking about the converter kit, right, is because we have people go into all these calls, and we found in the past some people go, I use this theme, that theme, this theme, another theme, and I'd get on there and I'd be like, guys, you need to do this, and people would go, I can't do that, I can't turn that on, I can't, because the feature doesn't exist in your store. So converter kit has absolutely everything that we recommend, right? So we go, hey Stace, turn that on, turn that off. Hey Kyle, we do this, do that, and you're like, oh, how do I do that? And 300 other people in the community know how to do it, and they can also help you. Right. Yeah. So you're not sitting on the call going, oh, well, this is crap because I can't do this thing. Judy, Chris from our team will reach out to you.
Yes, Judy, just look out in your SMS. I'll give you a buzz sometime this week.
Correct.
Peter, I have a product, but it's not available on AliExpress. It's branded. Is that a problem? I mean, you could sell other branded products. Plenty of people do.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. 100%.
Can I have a chat with one of you directly next couple of days? Absolutely, Monique. So I'm just getting Jillian from our team. For those who need to have a chat, we're just going to take a note and we'll reach out to each of you. So yes, Monique.
The converter kit is included. And we forgot to mention this. Converter kit is $2,000 on its own, actually. So when we're doing this as a bundle, that's like, crazy by me, really.
And what's
giving away so many photos so cheap.
I think it's monthly, but you could split up into 3 months payment as well.
Yep.
Awesome.
You
Any
can
other questions?
obviously reach out to us as well, guys, if you want to like call us
Clarify.
tomorrow, like email us, like you'll hear from us. That's fine.
Yeah. And I think we missed Renee. Do you help print on demand businesses? Oh boy, do we ever. Absolutely.
Yes.
Again, these are all business models. If you're selling a product online, doesn't matter what business model. Yes, we can help you. The important thing is that we're selling good quality products and we're building real
Yep.
brands. That's where
We've
we
got a
differ.
couple in the community that sell Darren and Gordon. They sell like you'll see them when you meet them, like quirky t-shirts, and they just print them on demand, right? So
Mm.
they started with nothing. They bought the converter kit. They're actually they now actually run an agency where they like try and help people like set up Shopify sites because they've learned all the stuff that we've taught them, So perfect example where they go, oh yeah, cool. I know what I need to do. Command center available. Yeah, straight away. Instant access to the
Yeah,
command.
just
Oh,
to,
like
let's be clear. So
tomorrow.
everyone, this program, you get access to the community, the AI command center, and the converter kit. These are all the tools you get, but you're in a more accelerated program in the community where we're really pacing out which calls you come to and where in your own private, well, in your own channel,
Hmm.
for the challenge. So you get all of that, everything we've gone through today, you get access to, plus the coaching guidance and accelerated program of the challenge for the next 12 weeks. And then after that, you keep access to everything for the rest of the year. Hopefully
Yeah.
that clears that up.
And then hope and you'll stay at the end of the year, right? A lot of people,
Yes.
half the community have been with us since day one. Like, like there's a good 100 people that have been there since the start, or maybe 50 or 60 or whatever it is. Like, I like your comment, Rod. Yes,
You've done the
just
numbers for
stop buying
everyone.
coffees instead. You know what you should have said, Rod, is like do this properly in the next 12 weeks, and then you'll never have a problem ever buying coffee
You
again
buy as
because you'll have
much as
lots
you
of
want.
money. You'll be
Go to
like,
Chadston and spend $6 for an espresso on a
yeah,
Sunday.
you'll be living
Yes.
life, driving there in your fancy car because you've got like a site that makes you money. That's why you're doing this, right? You're doing this to make cash. Like, so don't be a tight ass once you're making money. Spend your money.
That's not
My,
financial
my
advice.
goal, like again, my goal is for you guys to make money. Like this is make an income. Like the amount of people that have come to me and they go, I hate my job, and a lot of people in corporate, just like you, Stacey, you had a guy and he was a glazier. He's
Yeah.
a fucking hate doing glazier work and pull fences and shit. And he was doing 30 grand a month, right? And I'm like, dude, your website sucks, and so does your brand messaging, and so do your ads. Now he does 600 grand a month. It's always on holiday because he makes 30 grand profit or what more, So some people keep their jobs. Many people in there
Mm.
still got like one boy does amazing, he gets paid a shit ton of money, right? But now he's got a brand that does 7 figures a year. He goes, I got a job, so I got money there, and I've got an ecom brand to make money there, and I've got VAs that run the ecom business, and he goes, life's good, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
there's obviously some people that join and like did nothing and then they're not successful, but like most people, like you do the work and you do well.
Yeah. No, you can't guarantee everyone's success, and anyone who does, just run away from them
Run
instantly. You
away.
can't do it. Like instead, what we do is like we just get what's worked for all the other brands over the years that we've been doing this, and we just go, this is what works for the other brands. Go and try and replicate it for yourself with your own business. Um,
Mm.
Otherwise,
This is also why we want you in the community. So you just see what winners look like and you see when other people struggle with things and you see how we fix it for them. And then you go, oh, I could do that. And like a lot of the ladies in the community have even built like amazing relationships with each other. Like Leah in the community and Meg's in the community. They realized a couple of months ago that they're like 800 meters apart down the street. Now they go hang out and they do like film content for each other and write each other's VSLs and come to the calls and catch up with Therese. And Therese is like 60, whatever she is, 60, hanging out and having lunch and stuff. Like we want you guys to hang out and make new friends because e-commerce is lonely, right? Most people don't understand how hard you work and all this stuff. Thanks, John. Cheers, mate.
Yeah, Beck, some nice words of encouragement there for Stacey. Love it.
We'll wrap it up in another
Yeah.
minute or two. I don't know when my voice has returned after that
No, it's
near-death
good.
experience. Lucky we had a nurse on the call. So get him some water, something. I was drowning. So
Any last questions, everybody, before we wrap up for the night? This is your chance. We really appreciate the patience and everyone spent their Wednesday evening with us. So hopefully you got a lot out of it, and hopefully we see a lot of you inside that challenge. But yeah, last questions, drop them, and then we'll kind of head off the night, I think.
cool. All right, guys. Yeah, thanks so much once again. Appreciate all of the comments. I look forward to seeing all of you in the community as soon as possible. All right.
Perfect.
Cheers. Thanks.
See you
Bye.
guys.